Hello folks, today you will learn additional information on Power of 3. Power of 3 is basically one of the most important topics that you can learn, and we will talk about opening prices and how we can use them to identify premium and discount. So every candle has opening price, and it has wicks, and obviously if we are bullish you wanna buy in a wick of higher time frame up close candle, and if you're bearish you wanna do the opposite. You wanna sell in a wick of higher time frame candle. For example, if you're trading on a 1 minute, you would probably want to buy a wick of 1 hour up close candle. So with that logic, we can use certain times and mark out opening prices of them to identify premium and discount. There are two main times in price that are very important to mark out, that will help you to identify where is manipulation of Power of 3 and simply discount or premium. The first one is midnight opening price, New York time. Obviously, if you're bearish, you wanna sell above it, and if you're bullish, you wanna buy below it. The second important time is opening price of 8:30 candle. The logic is the same. You wanna buy when we are below it and sell when we are above it. What to use, 8:30 or midnight opening price? If you're bearish, you wanna use that one that's lower, and if you're bullish, you wanna use that one that's higher. It will set minimum threshold for judas swing or simply manipulation. Now let's talk about additional points in time that you wanna mark out. It's 9:30 level. As you can see, we manipulated down, tap this level, also this hidden SMT, or simply this zone, and then we moved up. This is kinda choppy day, but still it delivered. The second one is PM session opening price. It's 13:30 or simply 1:30, and as you can see, initially we moved up. We created this failure swing since we were above PM session opening, and here we had 15-minute QS. The fact that we are above PM session opening price could give you confidence that we will move lower. Once we moved lower and tapped certain bullish PD array, we continued moving up. You basically can mark out opening prices of every single 1 hour candle, but do not go lower than that, because if you wanna get better entries, you always should buy wicks of 1 hour candles if you're trading on 1 minute time frame. If you go lower, you can use 15-minute, but honestly, I've never tried to use this kind of approach, and I've never tried to mark out opening prices of anything that's lower than 1 hour candles. Let's look at different examples. As you can see, 8:30 opening, we moved up, and here you could find a short if there is something from your model, for example, this breaker block. Here is your 9:30 opening. As you can see, we manipulated up, and then we moved lower, and you could use this zone. Obviously, You don't wanna just pattern trade it. There is nothing mechanical about marking out these levels to find an entry. There should be a logic behind it, so these levels just help you to formulate narrative, and there is basically nothing more to add to them, besides they act as just additional confluence to your idea. Now we will talk about another tool that will help you to increase probability of your trades and to filter out the false ones. It's called SMT. SMT stands for Smart Money Tool or Smart Money Technique. That's basically in for the abbreviation, but this tool is very powerful. It's one of the most popular ways to filter out not valid trades, and many traders never take a trade unless there is SMT. So I think some of you might be familiar with RSI divergences or stochastic divergences. For example, when RSI makes lower low and price makes higher high. So the principle is the same, but we will use closely correlated assets like DAO and ES. But I honestly would never recommend you to use DAO because it has only 30 companies and ES has 500. So it would be more reasonable to use ES to find SMTs. What you wanna do is add extra chart to your trading view. How can you do that? Obviously, if you have a premium, you can open up multiple charts at once. But since I'm viewing it from a perspective of a person who has never traded before, they probably don't have a trading view, even like essential pack. So how can you add second chart? You wanna click on this plus button on the left upper corner and choose here ES1 exclamation mark, simply continuous contract. Here you press new pane. You see? Now you have simply second chart. So now let's see how SMT looks like. Maybe you can spot it yourself. Okay, I'm not gonna torture you, so as you can see, NQ made higher high at 10.53, while ES created lower high, simply failure swing. This is our SMT. Obviously, once it forms, you don't wanna just press sell. It's only a tool for confidence and not for an entry. SMT have to be anticipated, and they usually form at certain times, at key times that you have learned from my channel, or you can learn from ICT's channel. That's typically opening prices like midnight opening, 8:30 opening, 9:30 opening, macros. You can see this was during the macro. And how could you use this SMT to find a short entry here? For example, you have identified this flip zone, and we also have here, like, we swept buy side multiple times, and we have this zone here. Once we created a flip, you might wanna short it, but for some reason you may not be sure in your trade. So how could you identify that the trade was valid one? First of all, you wanna see, is there any clean highs or lows, depends on the side of which you're trading, but in this case it's short, so you wanna see, is there any clean lows below, smooth edges? Obviously, this trendline liquidity. Smooth edges tend to get jagged, but the topic of today's lesson is SMT and opening prices. So You wanna mark out, for example, 9:30 opening price. I really prefer marking out 9:30 all the time. And I think it's like one of the most important opening prices, and you usually wanna extend it till the end of the day. So we are above 9:30 level. We are at some key higher time frame bearish PD array. We have a flip, and what's the last piece of puzzle? SMT. You can add SMTs to your model as something that always should be in your trades. This will certainly help you to filter out trades that will not work and will improve your win rate. Now let's see at other example. Obviously, I wanna mention that when we create equal highs and then here we create failure swing, for example, I personally count it as SMT2. ICT did not cover that part in his videos, so that's just from my backtesting. Also, I wanna mention that we had higher time frame SMT, so that could have increased probability of our trade even more. There are typical times of the day where you will find SMT. SMTs usually form almost 100% of the time at 9:30, but also you wanna look at highs and lows between 5 o'clock and 9:30, because there may be SMT. As you can see, in this case we have also SMT between these two price points, and this also could help us to identify, for example, the short. SMTs are quite powerful tools, and they also can help you to identify low probability price action. There is no such example in this price action, but usually when we have SMTs on both sides of the market, for example, if we had SMT here and above, you would spot it around 9:30, like that. You would expect the rest of price action to be choppy, like we see it right now. But here we don't have SMTs on both sides, so this price action could have been anticipated in some different way. The last thing that I wanna mention, that you will almost always see SMTs at some high impact news events. I will talk about news calendar in the next video, but for now that's it. I think this lesson might have confused you, but that's okay. Spend some time backtesting it, like we did in market review when we were reviewing this price action. Train your eyes to see these SMTs, and eventually you will get them. I wish you good luck in your learning journey and trading journey. See you in the next video.